So they collect the stem cells, and then after they do, it's like in a blood bag, and it's like orangey. I have a picture of it, so I'll show you later. And then they would put it in like a lunch bag, like a freezer bag, and then quickly go and freeze that. And then I would be done for the day for my stem cell collection. That would be my day. So yeah, so they would freeze it and they won't defrost it until 2 weeks later. I get my stem cells back. So the day that I got my stem cell collection, I still had hair. Hair loss was very minimal as well because it was only 1 week after my first dose of chemo. The hair loss really happened 1 week after stem cell collection. And it was just coming. Like, I had to shave my hair twice because, well, the first time I shaved it, I know it was just, you know, I would comb it, and then I'm like, oh, there's about 20 hairs coming. I'm like, okay, it's coming. Like, oh my god, I'm ready for this. And then I just thought about it, like, so then I wanted to play with some fun hairstyles since, you know, it's my opportunity. So back then I had hair actually like the same length like this, and so I decided to shave my sides and cut the top, so it was kind of like a comb over, like a pixie cut kind of. So it was like, there was still hair, it was just a funkier hairstyle, and I was like trying to rock this short hairstyle, but so I started wearing my wig on top because I still wasn't comfortable, just because, you know, all of a sudden you go from this hair to like no hair, like, you know, just so bare minimum. So then that lasted about 3 days, and then I would wear the wig on top when I went out, and it was like just falling. Like, I remember how itchy it was. I don't know if it's the wig that was itchy or my hair was like coming off underneath the wig. I really don't know which one it was, but it was just so itchy that I had to like put my hand through underneath my wig and like scratch, and I take my hand out and I would see hair. I'm like, oh my god, like, thank god it wasn't like long, because I didn't want to look like Smeagol, you know, from Lord of the Rings. Like, yeah. So I was like, you know what, I think it's time to shave, because just like those like short little hairs were making me itch, and like when I wake up the pillow was kind of like, you know, there's like hair. I'm like, okay, you know what, I don't want to wait any longer, and I don't want to look like a sick, like even more ill, you know. I don't know, that's just my opinion, I'm not trying to offend anybody, but that's just how I felt. I was like, you know what, I'm just gonna be brave, I'm gonna go for it. So my husband did my second shave, and I went like buzz, like took off all the hair that I had saved, about like this much on the top as well, shaved it, and then yeah, it was like a little refreshing, it was a little scary, but like I'm so glad my husband was there for me, because he was like, oh, you look great, you look so cute, like, oh, like I'm just so happy that I have him. Okay, so that was my hair loss experience, or hair shaving experience. So anyways, so after that, so 1 week later, so it would be 2.5 weeks after the let me think, the injections. At this point, I would get admitted to the hospital. So it was that was like, wow, well, I don't know, it was kind of a big journey as well. Okay, so once I got admitted, my first day of admission, you know, you just get settled into your room and all that. Then the next day, the next 4 days, I get 4 days of chemo. Chemo was done in the mornings around 10 to, I think, noon. I don't remember, but it was 4 days of chemo, and then 3 days of ATG. And ATG was what really, like, those days of chemo was okay, you know, I was like, okay, yeah, I'm done chemo, like, you know, nothing too bad, like I just felt kind of still like kind of normal and tolerable. And then ATG, I remember the first day of ATG, I had like an episode. It was like, I think within an hour of getting my ATG, I think it was a bag. Yeah, a bag of ATG getting in me. I started getting getting really cold, to the point where I needed to get oxygen put in me. It was like kind of a scare attack, I think, for the nurses as well. But like, they know that kind of happens when the patient gets their ATG for the first time. It happens within like 10 minutes, I believe, like their reaction to the drug. So anyway, yeah, ATG happened, and that was 3 days in a row. But only the first day I experienced that, like, wow, like the shivers and fever, and then really cold, like just the chills. So after that, after the third day of ATG, I started experiencing diarrhea. So that's also one of the side effects. Throughout my whole treatment, like, I feel like I'm quite lucky because I didn't really experience any other side effects other than diarrhea. Like, I had diarrhea for a week and a half, and like, I couldn't even wipe down there anymore because it was just so raw. I remember, like, these are all my own personal names for these products because I don't really know the medical terminology for, you know, the drug. So I remember I was given like a butt freezing cream too. A butt freezing cream. A butthole, yeah, well, you know, so it like kind of freezes that area so it's not as painful to poop. And then I was like given this like thick cream to kind of put it to moisturize it as well. And then yeah, I had to like use a bottle to wipe down there, like with water, like spray down there. So that was an experience. And I just remember I couldn't even go for walks because I needed to be near a washroom. And like, I think I had like towards the 7-day mark of like the diarrhea, I needed to be on painkillers because I could barely sit, and like I had to like alternate my butt cheek to kind of like because of just the diarrhea, like just the whole pain, like yeah. And vomit was probably about only 2 to 3 times. It wasn't much, and then the rest it was just mainly diarrhea. So after that, let's see, then I was given back my stem cells. After the 3 day of ATG, the next day I was given back my stem cells, and then I had all that side effect like the diarrhea and stuff. Sorry, I forgot to mention that. So the day that I got my stem cells back, this is a photo. Interesting, right? Sorry, it's like reflective. So that is the stem cell bag, and it's like orange, and then that's me with my bald head, and that's my husband. But yeah, they consider it your rebirth. So this photo means a lot to me, and this as well. But yeah, as you can see, the CBC is right there. I don't know if you can really see. It won't focus. Okay, I don't know. Okay, but yeah. Let's see. Then 7 days later, I'm given the GCSF injection again. So that is the same injection that I had to do before to stimulate stem cells. So because all the chemo would bring your immunity really low, and then the ATG makes it even lower, to the point where it's like you're just weak, sore, diarrhea, vomit, all your side effects happens. And then a week after that, they will stimulate your body and inject the injection again. So I got one injection shot, and then they just kind of monitor you out throughout the whole week you know, and you're just kind of like, they do vitals twice a day, come in, check on you, see whatever you need, like, you know, yeah, and monitor your blood count, your blood work, and it should be increasing, and getting better. Your number counts. Yeah. So, and then a week after, it would be possibly discharge. So I got discharged quite early than expected because my recovery rate was quite phenomenal, according to the doctor. They said like, wow, like you're bouncing back really good, your numbers are looking great. And at that point, I could like wean off the painkillers for the butthole pain, and yeah. And so you can get passes, right? Day pass, overnight pass, stuff like that. Yeah. And then they would kind of let you go home for a day or like a night, and then go back the next day to get a dressing change for and all whatnot. And yeah. Yeah. And throughout it all, I'm so grateful I had like 3 people, like 3 immediate family member during my whole treatment. I know it doesn't happen for everybody because, you know, most people like, you know, their family members needs to work and only one person can be with them. But I was really lucky and so grateful and thankful that I had my husband, my mom, and my sister. So yeah, that was my stem cell treatment experience. And I can say that it was very positive for me, because I felt like when I was in the hospital, all this, and you know, as a patient, seeing how much medical supplies and gloves and just supplies that they use on just one patient, myself, is crazy, because everything had to be brand new, and they would open it in front of you, put the glove on, and then like open another cotton and then just shake it. Like nothing is touched on this mat. It had to be sterile, and then they would use it on you. It's just, I can't even imagine if I got it done, my treatment done in a different country with like not such high medical sterilization standards or cleanliness standards, like how would it be? And I had a nurse who I still like, she just left an impression in my head because she was just so actually all their nurses were so nice. Every day they would come in, it would be different nurses. It just depends on their shift, right? Like you don't get one nurse for the whole time you're in the hospital. It's just whoever's there that day, and they get assigned to your bedroom, then you know that's your nurse. So because I was having the diarrhea issue, like I was so scared I couldn't even make it to the washroom in time, she suggested, like she asked if I wanted to have pads, because you know, so you know, if you couldn't make it in time, at least there's some sort of protection. I'm like, oh my god, thank you, yeah, that would be great. So that week and a half that I was experiencing diarrhea, like whenever I was low on pads, whatever I was low on, like the butt freezing cream or like the other thicker toothpaste looking clay cream to like moisturize my butt area, like I would ask them and they would give me brand new, like just amazing. And like if I was low on my pads, they would just give me like, just restock, like here you go, no problem. Like, and service, like customer service, I don't even know if this is customer service, but just all the nurses, I'm so grateful for the nurses, the doctors, just my whole experience at the hospital was like so good. I'm so grateful I'm Canadian and have such a great healthcare system, and everything was covered, you know, by a healthcare. Like that is amazing, because I'm sure the treatment that I went through is not cheap. Like my doctor did say it was like $1 million, close to $1 million. I don't know, close to $1 million, but I don't got that type of money to give $1 million to get treatment done, right? Like, yeah. So that is my experience with my stem cell transplant. Yeah, so I mean, I don't really know what else I've excluded, like, but if you have any questions, you know, just comment below, and I'm more than happy to answer your questions about my experience and, you know, the whole treatment process. So yeah, so thank you for watching my video. I'll see you next time. Bye.